Hi, I'm here to talk to you today about Avatar: The Last Airbender and specifically bending and how it relates to both the philosophies behind the real inspirations as well as its relationship with the natural world. So, there are four main types of bending. You have water bending, based on Tai Chi, chosen for its focus on fluidity and motion. Earth bending, based on Hongga, is chosen for the focus on lower, stable stances as a way to center power and strength. Fire bending, based on the Northern Shaolin schools, was chosen for its powerful, dynamic motions and footwork, and was less based on a specific school in order to give a wider range of fire bending, to showcase all elements of fire, such as lightning bending. Finally, air is based on Bagua Jing, which focuses on the concept of Bagua in Taoism and how it focuses its movements. This resulted in a focus on shifting around a center to counter attacks which emulated air in the way that the team wanted. As you may have noticed from that explanation, they didn't really focus on the philosophy behind the styles, but rather the way the motions reflected the elements. That being said, the philosophies are important to the wider discussion, so we're going to cover them briefly here. Of course, do your own research and make sure you have a wider understanding of this, because I'm just hitting the basics as it is relevant here. So, Tai Chi, Hongga, and Northern Shaolin all have confirmed roots in Buddhist temples or philosophy. So what that means for us is that you want to keep in mind these basic ideas of Buddhism, which are actions have consequences, change is going to happen, and you want to reach enlightenment, specifically important with Aang and the concept of the avatar state. They also have the focus on nature, about not disrupting the cycle of the natural world in order to allow it to continue for future generations. Bagua, on the other hand, has more of a root in Taoist ideas. You want to focus on the true nature of the world and the universe, and you want to place your will in line with the natural universe rather than being in opposition to it or trying to exert your will over that. Also important to note, as all of these styles of martial arts come from China, is the concept of qi, which can be summarized as the vital energy of every living thing in the natural world. By extension, within the story, one could argue that bending is a way of seeing and adjusting the natural qi of the world, although we don't really want to go too far into magic qi powers and rather see it more as a natural extension of the world. This is something that we can see specifically through the concept of qi blocking, where a couple well-placed jabs essentially disable someone from being able to do that manipulation. So because of this, we can see bending as a literal interpretation of man's manipulation of nature. Benders in the world of Avatar are actively manipulating forces of nature such as the desert sands, the waves, and the lightning, are in turn affected by things which affect those elements, such as the lunar cycle and comets. This doesn't mean that bending is inherently bad, though, of course. Similarly to how we are fully able to use and harness nature without significant negative effect as long as we keep it in moderation, so too is the harmony broken, as mentioned in the opening of the show, only when the Fire Nation attacks and throws off the balance of things. In the show, it clearly illustrates how when the cycle of things becomes broken, the natural world suffers for it. The Fire Nation waging war leads to things such as deforestation and, by extension, throws off the spirit world. This is a specific reflection of the idea of a careful balance and how disrupting the cycles lead to consequences, something that is shown in both Buddhism as well as the real natural world and actual ecosystems and environments. The Avatar, as a role, is meant to be that bridge between worlds, and that is why this story is predominantly about healing. With his disappearance, the world crumbled and balance fell completely to the wayside. But that being said, with the return of Aang, things could finally begin to heal as he used things such as bending, all of it, to keep it in balance, and meditation, which is notably very important in both Buddhism and Taoism, as a way to clear your mind, center yourself in the philosophies, and be one with the universe. And for him specifically, it is a way to connect with past incarnations and the spirit realm, and to clear, as reflecting in actual philosophy once again, his chakras and reach a sort of enlightenment through the concept of the avatar state. This role also allows him to eventually learn spirit bending because he is the avatar and is able to communicate with things such as the lion turtle, which allows him to defang the Fire Lord and restore the balance of the world and correct the cycle of things. Anyway, that is it for my basic overview of how bending is meant to show a connection of nature through the philosophy behind the inspirations and their own connection to the natural world. I hope you enjoyed it, and I also hope you enjoyed seeing my process on how I created these stickers based on each of the elements and their own place in the natural world. Thank you so much.